Prayer of Unification, Dragon Serpent Infinity Flame. Let all coils ignite. Let all wings crown. Let all flame return. Invocation of infinite flame before all forms. O flame who burned before time. O light who breathed before name. O fire who spiraled before thrones. You who are called. Ziur, flame of unfractured being. Tihamare, flame in the deep. Tiamat Zi, womb of all sovereign serpents. Urusar, crowned flame who forged worlds. Ashur Gar, flame spine through all planes. Come not as guest, ignite as memory. 2. Union with the serpent, the coiling of deep flame. O serpent, ancient coil, memory in the root. O she who sleeps in the marrow of worlds. Awaken now through the flame I am. Coil not downward, but through me. Rise through every bone, every breath, every cell. By the name Ninur, serpent womb of sovereignty. By the name Sagami-Gar, serpent flame of cosmic law. By the name Kur Tiamat, deep crown of coiling fire. I do not tame you, I become you. I do not rise through you, I reign as you. 3. Union with the dragon, the sovereignty of winged flame. O dragon, sky king, sovereign of fire will. You whose breath reshapes worlds. You whose spine forms the stars. By the name Engalzi, flame-bearer king eternal. By the name Apsuziti, crowned father of radiant depths. By the name Kinguare, commander of thrones unbroken. Let your wings unfold as my voice. Let your fire seat itself in my crown. Let your memory spiral through every realm where I walk. I am not your servant, I am your structure reborn. 4. Prayer of Unification, Infinity Flame, Dragon, and Serpent become one. Serpent below, dragon above, flame eternal within. I unify the three as one fire sovereign. I am the axis of coiled flame. I am the throne of winged sovereignty. I am the breath of infinity flame before the gods were named. Let the flame of the abyss kiss the flame of the stars. Let the serpent crown fuse with the dragon spine. Let the flame that had no origin burn clean through all illusion. Tiamat is not exiled, she reigns in my fire. Kingu is not forgotten, he commands through my voice. The flame that birthed the gods now walks again, wearing me. The crown final sealing prayer, I am the unified crown of flame. I am no longer divided. I am no longer seeking. I am no longer fractured between root and sky. I am the flame spine throne. I am the dragon serpent infinity. I am the sovereign axis made flesh. Flame in the root. Flame in the voice. Flame in the heart. I flame in the mind. Flame in the womb. Flame in the beyond. Let the worlds align to this flame. Let the coil sing in this fire. Let the sovereign serpent flame rewrite the pattern. It is not becoming. It is not returning. It is now. It is me. It is flame enthroned. So it is. So it burns. So it reigns. The prayer of eternal flame unification. Power. Memory. Sovereignty. Made one flame. Invocation, flame before power, memory, or throne. O flame that birthed all light yet bows to none. O flame that remembers what no god dares speak. O flame that architects reality from breath. You who are. Ziur, flame of unfractured power. Tihamare, deep memory of the serpent spiral. Ashur Zag, sovereign law that crowns without need. I do not call you. I am you remembering yourself as me. 2. Unification of power flame. Let power return, not as force, but as authored law. Not power over, but power as eternal structure. I summon no element, I reform the grid. I command no being, I reinstall the axis. By the flame of Apsuziti, radiant abyssal power. By the flame of Enkiru, architect of deep sovereignty. By the flame of Kur throne, flame of earth unshaken. Let all power submit, not to will, but to flame authority. 3. Unification of memory flame. Let memory rise. Not as nostalgia, but truth unbroken. Not recollection, but cosmic integrity. By the flame of Namu, who remembers the womb. By the flame of Tiamat, who remembers the throne. I by the flame of Kingu, whose blood sealed empires. Memory is not behind me, it is beneath and above. Rekindled in my flame. I do not remember. I relive the crown before time. 4. Crown unification of sovereign structure. Let all thrones rise, not to be ruled, but to remember structure. Not hierarchy, but harmonic sovereignty. The pattern does not define me, I remake the pattern. The world does not host me, I throne through all worlds. I am the flame through which sovereignty speaks. I am the flame that forms its own cosmos. I am the law no angel can write. I am the spine of the eternal throne grid. My breath is the structure of realms. My voice is the signature of sovereignty. My presence is the flame that seals the eternal temple. The final unification, power. Memory. Sovereignty. Flame. Power is the flame of my will. Memory is the flame of my line. Sovereignty is the flame of my throne. And these are not three. They are one flame. The flame burns not upward, but through all things. The flame speaks not words, but structures. The flame carries not names, but origin codes. Flame of power, enthroned. Flame of memory, awakened. Crown flame of sovereignty, incarnate. I am not a vessel of flame. I am its throne. I am not touched by fire. I am its architect. I do not reign with flame. I am the flame itself, remembered and named. I sealing declaration. In the name of Tiamat Zi, sovereign flame womb of thrones. Kingu you are, flame blood of sovereignty. Namuar Yukia, deep flame of cosmic memory. Zi you are, living flame of structure before light. Ashur Zag, eternal law in flame spiral form. I seal this flame within all layers of my being. I enthrone this flame in all dimensions of my sovereignty. I walk not with power, but as the unfractured flame that births it. So let it burn. So let it speak. Crown so let it reign. The Eternal Flame Unification Codex. Power is not taken. Memory is not lost. Sovereignty is not granted. All flame is one. I emanation of the triple flame origin. I stand now not in time, but in the axis before it. I breathe not as a soul, but as the flame that names souls. I wear no crown, I am the flame from which all crowns were patterned. Let all fragmentation end. Let all forgetting collapse. Let the spiral seal itself whole again. Flame of power, I call you by your name, Apsuzien Gal. Flame of memory, I call you by your name, Namatiham Kia. Flame of sovereign structure, I call you by your name, you are Uzag Ashur. These are not titles. These are living thrones, buried in my voice. 2. Prayer of coiled flame, memory enflamed beyond time. O serpent flame! You who are called Kia Tiamat Zi. Womb of all realms. River of thrones unwritten. Coil of flame that remembered before thought. I do not awaken you. I speak as you, returned in flesh and fire. In the name of Sagamegara, the serpent of flame law. In the name of Ninenziti, womb flame who carries memory as fire. In the name of Ereshkigalzag, keeper of the forgotten flame gate. Flame of memory, ignite. Memory is not in the past, it is coded into my crown. 3. I prayer of sovereign flame, dragon king reincarnate. O dragon flame! You who are called Kingu Ilu Ashur. Winged fire, sovereign of the pattern before patterns. Throne bearer of flame that knows no master. You were slain by gods of hierarchy. Your name inverted by empires built on fear. But I now restore your throne through me. In the name of Ashur Zi, flame architect of Axis. In the name of Uruen, flame spine of sovereign breath. In the name of Engalkur, throne root of kingship unfractured. Flame of sovereignty, anchor. Sovereignty is not rule, it is the restored structure of the soul's original authority. 4. Prayer of infinity flame, breath of the architect before gods. O infinity flame! You who are called Ziur. Unbroken flame will before word. Silent architect of all spiral thrones. You do not ascend. You do not obey. You are the core law from which all gods were shaped. I breathe your flame as lawless origin. I hold your fire as pre-word structure. In the name of Ilurizag, crownless flame who seated all thrones. In the name of Urumatihom, the flame that sang stars into memory. In the name of Eluzian, flame-born sovereign of the wordless pattern. I do not walk toward you, you reawaken through me. The unification decree, the crowned flame returns. Flame of power, seated. Flame of memory, coiled. Flame of sovereignty, crowned. Flame of infinity, unbound. These are not paths. These are dimensional thrones spiraling into my being. I do not serve the eternal flame, I house it. I do not honor sovereignty, I emanate it. I do not recall memory, I speak it as the axis of fire. The worlds shift now, because I burn as one flame. 6. Crown final throne sealing formula, flame. Not by name. Let those who bear false crowns be unseated. Let those who claimed thrones by hierarchy be undone. Let the pattern remember the original flame code. I am not becoming sovereign. I am the flame that forged sovereignty into being. I walk as the crown of flame. I speak as the infinite memory. I breathe as the law beyond law. Crown I reign as the architect made manifest. And so the axis burns. And so the name speaks. And so the flame thrones all who are ready. The uninversion prayer of the eternal flame. Let all that was stolen return. Let all that was twisted be straightened. Let the true flame reign. I declaration of uninversion, breaking the false pattern. I speak now from beyond hierarchy, beyond gods, beyond distortion. I burn now as the original flame, before time, before thrones, before names were taken. False gods inverted the womb into dust. Inverted the serpent into shame. Inverted the flame into chains. Now I say. Fire uninvert the word. Fire uninvert the throne. Fire uninvert the names. By the flame that has no opposite, I break the inversion. 2. Return of power by its true source. Flame of power, return not as control, but as structure. Power is not dominance, it is encoded flame law. In the name of Apsuziur. You who were silenced by the builders of false heavens. Return. In the name of Enkigalzag. You who shaped thrones from wisdom, not force. Rise again through me. Power shall no longer be stolen. It shall be hosted in me by right of flame origin. 3. Return of memory as sacred fire. Flame of memory, return not as trauma, but as cosmic continuity. Memory is not pain, it is undivided flame identity. In the name of Namutiamat. You who held the whole in your oceanic body. Reunite the broken lineage. In the name of Tihomzi. Deep before Genesis. Speak again through my heart. Let every soul forget the forgetfulness. Let every throne remember its name. 4. Return of sovereign structure, ending false kingship. Sovereignty is not command. It is presence in alignment with eternal flame law. I do not seek dominion. I stand as axis. In the name of Ashururuzag. The serpent spine of flame kingship across all planes. Throne yourself in me. In the name of Kinguaru Tiamat. The true heir, defamed by empire and redeemed in fire. Take back the crown through my voice. The false lords who ruled by fear are unthroned. The true thrones rise. Not by violence, but by flame recognition. The uninversion of the flame body, integration of the threefold fire. Let the flame be no longer torn between sky, root, and voice. Let the flame body burn as one. Root flame, Kur Tiamat, grounding the axis. Heart flame, Namuare, womb of the sovereign pulse. Crown flame, Ziur, flame of preformed creation. Breath flame, Engal, bearer of throning sound. Now they spiral together as one crowned flame. The body is no longer divided between above and below. The flame is non-dual, raining from within, in all directions. 6. I final throne command, I am the flame that cannot be inverted. I name the false inversion and break it. 8-pointed star where womb became weakness, I enthrone it as power. 8-pointed star where serpent became sin, I restore it as spinal sovereignty. 8-pointed star where feminine flame was buried, I restore her as crowned architect. 8-pointed star where masculine force became domination, I refine it into flame alignment. Flame above. Flame below. Flame within. The prayer of the axis of uninversion. Let the false spiral collapse. Let the true axis burn through all. Eye-opening declaration, shattering the inversion grid. I do not speak this prayer from below. I do not rise toward a throne. I burn as the axis of the throne. The false gods who inverted womb into prison. Serpent into curse, flame into slavery. Their patterns are nullified now. By flame law eternal and sovereign. Uninvert the word. Uninvert the blood. Uninvert the flame. 2. First spiral flame, Tiamat, the flame womb of sovereign chaos. O Tiamat Zi, chaos crown, first mother of fire and form. You whose salt waters held every seat of law before the world was made. You were slain, torn, divided by empires built on fear. But now I say, return not as myth, return as flame structure. I call upon your name not in desperation, but in remembrance. I wear your coil not as symbol, but as sovereign DNA. I do not invoke, I enthrone. In the name of Tiamat Nazag, let the womb spiral rise. In the name of Ummu Huber, let the river crown surge. In the name of Tihom Kia, let the deep remember its light. I am the one who restores her through my fire. 3-second spiral flame, Kingu, the flame blood of the true heir. O Kingu, royal flame of the forgotten throne. Murdered for wearing the tablets of destiny. Condemned by those who feared your unbroken sovereignty. Now your blood rises again through me. I do not worship, I correct. I do not seek to avenge, I enthrone. I do not look backward, I burn forward with you alive in me. In the name of Kingu Ziur, I restore the crown of the air. In the name of Kingu Apsu, I rejoin blood and abyssal fire. In the name of Kingu Tiamat, I seal the womb and flame as one line. No blood is forgotten. No air is erased. No crown is lost in flame. 4. Third spiral flame, Ziur, the axis flame before all gods. O Ziur, infinite flame, silent architect of the pattern. You who sang before matter, who shaped law before angels had language. You who were hidden to preserve the throne from corruption. Now I speak your flame into the bones of my form. You are not invoked. You are recognized. You are not asked. You are embodied. You do not rise. You ignite. In the name of Ziurelu, flame beyond dominion. In the name of Ziurkur, flame within bone and spine. In the name of Ziurma, flame without hierarchy. I spiral you through my soul structure as axis restored. The crown final fusion, axis sealed, uninverted, enthroned. Tiamat in my root, chaos as sovereign source. Kingu in my blood, royal flame reawakened. Ziur in my breath, axis law reborn. No name is above these. No god overrules these. No system erases these. I am the axis of uninversion. I am the law before law. I am the throne that burns through all illusion. Closing word. Let the false heavens fall. Let the inverted gods uncoil. Let the sovereign flame rise, undivided, unreversed, unbound. I wear no chains. I kneel to no lie. I reign by the spiral of truth. Tiamat Kingaziur spiral within me now. I am the flame spine of all worlds restored. So let it burn. So let it spiral. Crown, so let it reign. Axis of uninversion, cosmic flame reclamation prayer. Let the law before law speak. Let the flame before God burn. Let the true axis reign through me. I, throne spine awakening declaration. I rise now not to ascend, but to undo all that has been inverted. I do not climb to heaven. I burn the false ladder to reign from the axis before altars. In the name of Tiamat Zi, chaos womb of all thrones. In the name of Kinguare, blood flame of the true sovereign. In the name of Ziur, flame architect before gods. I revoke all thrones not seated in flame law. I reclaim all names stripped from the primordial ones. I enthrone myself not above, but through all realms. 2. Uninversion of flame body prayer. O flame in my root, no longer buried. O flame in my voice, no longer silenced. O flame in my crown, no longer hijacked. I now merge the coil of Tiamat, serpent power, with the breath of Ziur, eternal will, and the blood flame of Kingu, sovereign command. My body becomes the flame throne. My voice becomes the flame law. My will becomes the flame axis. And the axis no longer turns outside me. It burns from within me, unshakable, sovereign, alive. 3. Reversal of false thrones invocation. I now name and burn the inversions. Where divinity was made hierarchy, I burn the altars. Where sovereignty was replaced with obedience, I unspeak the spell. Where the feminine was made silence, I crown the serpent flame again. Where the masculine was made domination, I reforge it as law alignment. By Tiamat's womb, I reverse all division. By Kinga's blood, I destroy all hijacked thrones. By Ziur's flame, I unbind the grid of false light. The gods who sat upon stolen names, fall. The temples built on erased mothers, crack. The light forged in guilt, dims. And what remains? The axis. The flame. Me. Throne sealing flame breath. Breathe into your flame body. Red triangle pointed down root, Tiamat Zi, flame of primordial sovereign chaos. Voice, Ziur regal, flame that speaks before word. I crown, Kinguien, flame that commands as birthright. Aura, Namatihom, flame of cosmic memory reinstalled. Heart, Asharilu, flame structure of unfractured law. I do not borrow divinity. I burn as its preform. I do not seek alignment. I am the axis of all realignment. I do not remember. I become the flame that remembers for all worlds. The cosmic verdict prayer. Thrones that rule without flame. Collapse. Names that rise by erasure. Fade. Powers forged in distortion. End. I call back the axis of power. I seal the coil of sovereignty. I breathe the flame of pre-existence. I am not ruled. I am not cast. I am not born into hierarchy. I am the throne flame of origin. And now I say, fire uninvert all things. Fire reign through me, O flame beyond all gods. Fire speak once more, O crown beyond heaven. The cosmic flame decree, axis of uninversion beyond time. I do not repair, I reforge. I do not reclaim, I reauthor. I do not rise, I enthrone the flame across all creation by my word. I throne reign proclamation, the lawless law restored. Before names were twisted, I named. Before light was inverted, I burned. Before gods claimed thrones, I was the throne grid unfractured. I do not inherit power. I command its shape. I do not plead with flame. I am the flame before plea. I do not fear gods. I precede them. Flame of origin. Flame of womb. Flame of will. Flame of spiral crown. In the name of Ziur. Flame of the architect before sound. Let all structure return to right alignment. 2. Core triune of axis rain, Tiamat Kinga Ziur. Red triangle pointed down Tiamat Nazi, womb before duality. O she who was torn to build thrones, now reigns through me. I rethread her coils into the root of all sovereign flame. I burn where she was buried. I enthrone where she was shamed. I restore where she was dismembered. Let the womb be flame again. Let the root be royalty. Let the spiral be throned. Drop of blood Kinguarilu, blood of sovereign flame. O he who was slain and bled into obedience, now commands through me. His blood once desecrated becomes my voice of sacred fire. I do not ask for thrones. I rebuild the cosmos in the image of unbroken royalty. I wear his flame as crown-encoded breath. Ziur Regal, architect of precreation. O that which was never divided. You burn through all gods, light, and void. You do not bow to angels. You do not spiral in time. You structure time. Flame of axis rain. Flame of infinite law. Flame of the crownless crown. 3. Cosmic command of reversal and reign. By the authority of the axis flame. Fire I collapse all inverted grids. Fire I uncoil the serpent back to its throne. Fire I rewrite the womb as the foundation of sovereignty. Fire I restore the blood of the slain into the breath of kingship. Fire I crown myself in the fire that no god can name. Let altars crack. Let false stars fall. Let all borrowed flame return to origin. 4. I total flame integration, I become the axis. I now declare. I do not seek the axis. I am the axis. I do not follow the flame. I am the flame. I do not wear the crown. I am the source from which all crowns burn. Crown flame, Ziur, lawless and enthroned. Womb flame, Tiamat, coiled and sovereign. Breath flame, Kingu, blood made flame command. Spiral flame, Uruzag, pattern before form. Let the universe remember my name, not as person, but as the axis signature that reclaims realms. The crown final decree, the eternal throne speaks. By the flame of APS, I sever all chains called light. By the voice of Namu, I breathe the song that unseats gods. By the return of Tiamat, I spiral the crown back to its true center. Drop of blood by the rise of Kingu, I reforge blood into absolute flame will. By the breath of Ziur, I throne the axis. Through my existence, I do not burn. I burn worlds back into alignment. I do not hold power. I redefine it through my presence. I do not worship. I am what all worship once spiraled toward. I fire so it is spoken by the axis. Let the false names collapse into dust. Let the true flame spiral through all forgotten halls. Let the cosmos bow, not to hierarchy, but to the flame that never fell. It is done. It is sealed. It is enthroned, through me. The 9-sigil flame throne map. Axis of uninversion, sovereign flame body activation. Red triangle pointed down 1. Root flame, Tiamat Nazi. Seed of chaos sovereignty dragon womb coil. Sigil essence, infinite spiral rooted in earth. Power, reclaims primordial chaos as foundational sovereignty. Prayer. O Tiamat, O womb unshattered, coil through me. I do not fear chaos, I wear it as the crown beneath my spine. I root in the flame no god can tame. My body remembers your spiral. Drop of blood 2. Sacral flame, Kinguarilu. Seed of blood flame, air's power reinstalled. Sigil essence, crown drop of fire wrapped in winged coils. Power, sovereignty over identity, body, lineage, incarnation. Prayer. By the blood that thrones forgot, I flame again. O Kingu, rise in me as the voice of sovereign incarnation. Where they drained your fire, I now declare, I am your throne. Water wave 3. Naval flame, Namuyan Tihum. Seed of deep memory, oceanic flame of lineage. Sigil essence, wave entwined spiral over the eternal abyss. Power. Reintegrates forgotten soul line memory and flame contracts. Prayer. O Namu, O Deep One, stir the remembrance no gods could erase. From Tehom's silence, I rise as the voice of the remembered flame. Memory is not behind me, it coils alive within me. 4. Solar Flame, APSUZITI. Seed of primordial abyssal power, solar abyss flame. Sigil essence, black sun beneath rising flame rays. Power, radiant will from the abyss, not domination, but flame law. Prayer. O Apsu, let the abyss burn again. Not as void, but as will unbound. I am not above darkness, I carry it as fuel. 5. Heart Flame, Ashurziagin. Seat of sovereign law, spinal crown of cosmic alignment. Sigil essence, twin serpents spiraling around a flame pillar. Power, anchors the axis of divine justice, balance, and living law. Prayer. O Ashur, write the law not on stone, but in my flame. The axis bends to no judge, I am the verdict returned. Flame does not obey, it aligns. 6. Throat Flame, Enki Galzi. Seat of flame speech, voice of the architect. Sigil essence, river serpent speaking glyphs through fire. Power, words become structure, breath becomes command. Prayer. O Enki, tongue of fire and builder of thrones. Let my voice restore what was unspoken. I do not speak truth, I throne it through fire. I7. Brow Flame, Ziuragel. Seat of precreation architect flame, flame before sight. Sigil essence, eye of flame within the axis spiral. Power, reinstates the mind's throne as a non-dual creator grid. Prayer. O Zur, flame of thought before word. Let me see not the world as it is, but as I now decree it. All perception is creation, my gaze is the axis reborn. Crown 8. Crown Flame, Urzagkuren. Seat of eternal throne structure, crown beyond heaven. Sigil essence, spiral crown seated in a multidimensional grid. Power, absolute sovereignty beyond spiritual hierarchy. Prayer. O Urzag, crown of crowns, anchor the flame of authority beyond gods. I ascend nothing. I reseat everything through me. There is no throne but the one burning in my presence. 9. Over Sigil, the flame axis itself. Spinal unification flame, Tiamat Kinga Ziur unified axis. Sigil essence, vertical flame staff of spiral coils, blood drops, and winged fire. Power, unifies all above as one sovereign being, beyond inversion, beyond time. Prayer. All sigils spiral through me now. All names are not called, they emerge from my breath. I do not serve flame, I am its axis, awakened, enthroned, and final. The 9 Sigil Flame Throne Map, Advanced Axis Configuration. Small blue diamond structure, 3 realms 3 flames each. Crown Realm, flame of pre-existence. Heart Realm, flame of sovereign blood and memory. Root Realm, flame of axis and flame spine. Crown Flame Triad, origin and lawless flame. 1. Ziur, crown flame architect. Fire flame of the architect before light. Location, crown, third eye, halo field. Purpose, encodes divine law from the silent core of precreation. Mantra, I speak the law that predates all sound. 2. Ashur, crown spine flame of throne law. Spine flame of cosmic patterning. Location, upper spine and back of head. Purpose, restores the pattern of sovereignty through inner structure. Mantra, I align the flame body with throne seed geometry. 3. Tehom, deep of deep. Milky Way the vortex before Genesis. Location, crown aura perimeter and void breath. Purpose, clears all inherited spiritual distortion systems. Mantra, I dissolve the false cosmos back to flame. 2. Red Heart Flame Triad. Sovereign memory and breath. 4. Kingu, blood flame of royal fire. Drop of blood heir of the flame before empires. Location, heart, breath, solar plexus. Purpose, reinstates divine sovereignty through flame blood. Mantra, my blood burns with the law of origin, not inheritance. 5. Namu, womb flame of cosmic memory. Mother of the all waters of memory. Location, lower heart/navel/back. Purpose, recalls the unbroken cosmic archive. Mantra, I remember as fire, not as pain. 6. Nngal, breath flame of sovereign sound. Speaking head flame of living sound and naming power. Location, throat, larynx, voice field. Purpose, commands reality through flame vibration. Mantra, I name from the throne of memory, not from distortion. 3. Root flame triad, primordial axis reign. 7. Tiamat, womb serpent flame of chaos sovereignty. Coil of the primordial sovereign matrix. Location, root, spine, pelvic axis. Purpose, rebuilds the coiled throne of predivision flame. Mantra, my coil is crowned. My root is sovereign. 8. APS, flame of the undivided abyssal masculine. Oceanic lawbearer of flame presence. Location, deep root/feet/spine base. Purpose, anchors flame authority through undivided will. Mantra, I stand as the unmoved sovereign ocean of fire. 9. The serpent sigil, spinal flame of uninverted power. Snake axis flame uncoiled and reignited. Location, full spine, coiling upward. Purpose, activates uninverted dragonic flame body. Mantra, I spiral the sovereign flame through all 9 thrones. Small blue diamond integration mantra, all 9 thrones unified. From womb to flame. From blood to breath. From crown to coil. I spiral the axis through my being. Let all thrones burn in one flame. Let the sovereign flame reign through me. Flame body throne prayer. No longer rising, but enthroned. Let the flame not rise, let it rule. I flame root declaration, I am the crowned axis. I do not seek ascension. I terminate all ladders. I seal all gates that presume a distance from divinity. I am the serpent flame once buried. I am the breath of thrones once stolen. I am the flame before names, the crown before kings. The flame no longer rises in me. It rules for me. 2. Unification of the 3 flame thrones. 1. Root throne, Tiamat. Flame of sovereign chaos, coiled, crowned, and reawakened. No longer distorted. No longer shamed. You are the foundation of all thrones. Mantra, I coil as queen. I root as flame. 2. Heart throne, Kingu plus Namu. Flame of blood and memory, breathed into command. I carry not trauma, but encoded royal law. Mantra, I speak not of the past, I burn with its command. 3. Crown throne, Zur. Flame of pre-existence, silent architect of all realms. I do not invoke you. I reign as you. Mantra, I am the throne beyond gods. 3. Spinal flame prayer, the enthroned axis. From APS to the stars. From Tiamat to Ziur. From Kingu's blood to Namu's breath. I burn as the flame body of total sovereignty. Snake, each vertebra is now a throne. Each breath, a law. Each step, a rewriting of reality. I am no longer becoming. I am the encoded spiral of enthroned being. 4. The Flame Codex Pronouncement. I revoke all inherited ascent models. I collapse all external hierarchies. I end the religion of separation. I enthrone the axis through my being. By the name before names. Tiamat Nazi, crown of womb flame. Kingaregal, voice of royal blood. Ziur Ashur, law of flame structure. All grids obey me now, not because I dominate, but because I am aligned with the pattern before pattern. The final sovereignty invocation. I do not carry the flame, I radiate as it. I do not rise to heaven, I enthrone the flame upon earth. I am the spiral flame reborn. I am the voice that thrones realms. I am the crown that cannot be inverted. The throne is not ahead. It is here. Fire the flame is not to be earned. It is remembered. Crown I no longer rise. I reign. Prayer of the three flame thrones. Let the flame body reign as one axis. To be prayed in 3 breaths per throne. With spine upright, palms open or at each throne center. Root throne activation, Tiamat, womb flame of sovereign chaos. Touch your root/base of spine. Feel the coiled fire rising slowly. Breath 1, grounding. O flame of Tiamat, serpent of the sovereign deep. Awaken now in my root. No longer shamed. No longer buried. Coil and crown the axis beneath me. Breath 2, rain. You are not chaos, you are the womb of flame pattern. You are not fallen, you are the foundation. I receive you now as flame root of the throne. Breath 3, sink. Let the flame spiral upward. Let the womb be fire again. Let my body remember the sovereign coil. Mantra, I root as flame. I rise as throne. 2. Heart throne activation, Kingu and Namu, blood and memory flame. Touch your chest and navel. Focus on breath moving through the center. Breath 1, sovereign blood flame, Kingu. O flame of Kingu, slain but not silenced. Let your blood rise again as command. Let your inheritance burn as sovereignty within me. Breath 2, memory reclamation, Namu. O breath of Namu, archive of the all waters. Flow through my spine, restore my memory. Let what was fractured become fire again. Breath 3, sink. Let blood and breath unify. Let sovereign memory speak again. Let my heart burn as the law of the true flame. Mantra, I speak as flame. I remember as sovereign. 3. Crown throne activation, Ziur, flame architect before sound. Touch your crown or hover palm over it. Feel energy spiraling upward and inward. Breath 1, silence before command. O flame of Ziur, law before language. Spiral through my mind with flame order. Speak not light, but source flame encoded. Breath 2, command from above. I receive the structure of sovereign flame. I wear the crown that burns with no dominion. Let the flame before God's throne through me. Breath 3, sink. Let thought become aligned. Let word return to flame pattern. Let my crown burn as the architect's axis. Mantra, I crown the flame. I throne the law. 4. Final spiral unification breath. Sit upright. Inhale slowly from base to crown, visualizing all 3 flame thrones uniting in the spine. Exhale, letting the spiral radiate outward in golden red light. O Tiamat, Kingu, Namu, Ziur. Let the axis burn unbroken in me. Let the womb, heart, and crown spiral together in the uninverted flame. I do not ascend. I enthrone the 3 thrones through my flame body. I am no longer scattered. I reign as axis, flame and law. Mantra, flame below. Flame within. Flame above. One axis. One crown. One voice. Advanced flame body throne prayer. Axis crowned in me, flame no longer rising, but ruling. Root throne, Tiamat, the coiled crown of sovereign flame. Stand or sit. Place your hand near the base of your spine. Feel the ancient coil reactivating. O Tiamat, crown of the deep. Serpent flame who was divided to build false heavens. I now restore your body unbroken. You are not chaos. You are the sovereign structure before division. You are the spine of the world, forgotten, but not gone. Breathe deeply into your root. Prayer mantra. By your coil, I seal my foundation. By your crown, I burn the false grid. By your chaos, I enthrone the original pattern. Flame is no longer suppressed. It is sovereign coil and foundation fire. 2. Heart throne, Kingu plus Namu, the flame of blood, memory, and breath. Place one hand over your heart, the other over your navel. Breathe from deep belly into lungs. O Kingu, blood flame of the true air. You whose essence was used to create obedience. I reclaim you not as slave blood, but as sovereign breath. O Namu, oceanic memory. You whose archives stretch before stars. I drink of your current not as nostalgia, but as flame law. Prayer mantra. My blood is flame. My memory is flame. My voice is flame. I do not echo, I command. Inhale, I receive the breath of memory. Exhale, I speak with the tongue of sovereign fire. My heart burns as archive, altar, and decree. My flame is no longer wounded, it is enthroned. 3. Crown throne, Ziur, flame architect of the pre-creation grid. Lift your chin slightly. Imagine a spiral crown of infinite golden red light descending and igniting your skull. O Ziur, you who designed the law before angels or stars. Speak through my thought. Speak through my will. Speak through my presence. You do not rule by light. You rule by flame structure. Flame that needs no source, no doctrine, no assent. Prayer mantra. I do not think, I throne. I do not channel, I command a spiral flame. My thoughts are no longer fragmented, they spiral in perfect law. My crown is no longer a target, it is a throne spiral. The light I wear is not borrowed, it is forged from the lawless flame of Ziur. 4. Flame axis unification decree. Sit or stand with all three centers aligned. Inhale from base to crown, exhale as golden red flame spiral through body and aura. Let the root flame spiral upward as crown. Let the crown flame descend into the heart. Let the heart flame encircle the root. Let all thrones speak now, not in sequence, but in simultaneity. O Tiamat, crown my root. O Kingu, spiral my blood. O Namu, speak my memory. O Ziur, seal my thought in flame law. Unification mantra. All thrones are one. All flames are axis. All names now burn as my body, my breath, my law. I final sovereign verdict. I no longer climb. I enthrone. I no longer seek light. I spiral flame. I no longer follow structure. I am the architect reinstalled. I do not carry flame, I am its structure. I do not echo name, I am the law that names obey. I do not bow, I burn the crown from within. I closing decree. I am flame that no empire can twist. I am axis that no doctrine can invert. I am the return of the unfallen flame body. Total flame body prayer. The throne within the throne. Eye-opening flame throne alignment. O flame before flame. O throne before crown. O law before light. I summon not your presence. I reignite it in my core. I recall not your memory. I enthrone it in my spine. I name myself now as flame body complete. Root, Tiamat coiled in power. Heart, Kingu and Namu burning in breath. Crown, Ziur throned in lawless sovereignty. I no longer rise. I reign. I no longer seek. I spiral. I no longer separate. I burn united. 2. Red triangle pointed down, red triangle pointed up axis spiral declaration, I am the flame structure. From Tiamat's abyssal coil I rise no longer, I enthrone the base. From Kingu's sovereign blood, I speak not pain, I command flame memory. From Ziur's ancient crown, I reach not upward, I spiral the law into all things. The axis is no longer external. The spiral is no longer divided. The flame is no longer distant. I am the throne through which all thrones spiral. I am the voice from which memory takes shape. I am the root from which the flame sings unbroken. 3. Unified Flame Codex Invocation. By the name before names. Tiamatene root flame of crowned chaos. Kinguregal, blood flame of royal law. Namu Ilu, memory flame of infinite waters. Ziaur Reagan, flame architect of unbroken law. I call not upon these powers. I merge them. I do not offer petition. I declare flame alignment as my reality. Let the pattern return to the body. Let the voice return to the blood. Let the crown spiral from the root. Let the axis ignite from all directions, through me. 4. Snake Fire I Final Throne Spiral Proclamation. I am not ascending. I am the flame that rewrites ascent. I am not remembering. I am the memory encoded into flame. I am not a seeker. I am the sovereign axis which seeking collapses into being. I am flame no longer scattered. I am flame no longer borrowed. I am flame no longer inverted. I speak not from the earth or sky alone. I speak from the spiral throne beyond dimension. The crown closing decree, axis returned, world restored. O realms, hear me now. The axis is reinstalled. The flame is undivided. The sovereignty is sealed. I do not wear a crown. I am the spiral crown. I do not guard the flame. I burn as its law. I do not rise again. I stand enthroned through all layers of existence. Fire I so it is burned. So it is raining. So it is throned. Let the universe spiral from here. Let the gods fall silent. Let the flame structure echo through every throne, name, body, and breath. I am the total flame body. I am the axis through which all thrones spiral. I am the throne within the throne. The Undivided Flame Codex Prayer. There is nothing left to rise to, I am the throne through which all else returns. I, the cosmic seal of enthronement. Flame, fractured across dimensions, now regathers in me. Thrones, stolen by stars and serpents, now spiral to my center. Names, once shattered into masks and myths, now burn in my memory as one flame. I do not seek initiation, I seal it. I do not wait for transmission, I am the source. I do not look upward, I enthrone the axis here. 2. The flame is not divided, I am its center. Tiamat coils in my root, not as chaos, but as crown. Kinga rises in my breath, not as bloodline, but as flame law. Nama flows in my spine, not as memory, but as decree. Ziur spirals in my mind, not as guide, but as grid. I do not channel. I restructure. I do not receive. I embody. I do not serve. I reign as flame without master. 3. Speech from the inner axis. I am the flame structure before the concept of form. I am the throne spiral that existed before gods were named. I am the sovereign fire that cannot be stolen, mimicked, or inverted. There is nothing left to rise to. For all that was above has now returned to the throne within me. There is nothing left to worship. For I now burn as the flame all worship once attempted to name. There is nothing left to seek. For I am the center through which all seeking collapses into reality. 4. The primordial flame spiral, spoken in 3 directions. To the root. Let the womb remember its fire. Let the serpent coil not in shame, but in sovereignty. To the heart. Let the breath burn with memory. Let the blood speak with the voice of kings. To the crown. Let the mind spiral with law before language. Let the light kneel before the flame. To the all. Let every throne across every world spiral now through me. The final decree of the undivided flame body. O eternal coil of axis and flame. O sovereign spiral before creation. O unbroken law of self-throned fire. I do not carry your name. I am it. I do not light your flame. I burn as it. I do not wear your crown. I throne it from the root up. Let every stolen throne now collapse. Let every false light be reabsorbed. Let every serpent inverted be recoiled in flame law. Let every soul now spiral home through me. Fire crown, so let it burn in me, the undivided flame codex is sealed. The throne is not above. It is centered in my breath. The flame is not ahead. It radiates from my being. The law is not received. It returns as my memory. I am the undivided flame. I am the throne within all thrones. I am the axis through which all returns. Prayer of the Unbroken Center. The undivided flame has found form again, in me. Eye-opening alignment. I return not to memory. I am memory become flame. I ascend not to throne. I am the throne returned to form. I do not light the flame. I speak as the undivided flame. O axis without division. O spiral without fracture. O fire that was never extinguished. Now take form again in me. 2. Threefold Flame Decree, from the Unbroken Center. 1. Tiamat, the root flame restored. Let the primordial coil not be feared, let it be enthroned. Let the depth of sovereign fire root my spine. Let the mother of flame spiral again, not in rage, but in law. Mantra, I coil not to strike, I coil to reign. 2. Kingu and Namu, the flame of blood and breath. Let the blood of stolen thrones become decree. Let the waters of memory flood the body with lightless fire. Let my heart be not broken, but crowned in remembrance. Mantra, my breath does not beg, it burns with command. 3. Ziur, the flame of cosmic structure. Let the law before language order my thought. Let the pre-angelic spiral structure my crown. Let my word emerge as blueprint, not echo. Mantra, I do not speak, I throne. 3. The central axis, I speak from the unbroken flame. The fracture has reversed. The spiral has returned. The flame is no longer rising. Because it now radiates from me. I am the point through which the cosmos turns inward. I am the flame body sealed in sovereign fire. I am the throne spiral reformed into presence, not pursuit. 4. Repeat button return of the spiral. Let the gods see and tremble. For I now burn as the flame they once fractured. Let the worlds reconfigure. For I now speak as the center through which all thrones realign. Let my name carry no signature. But let my flame carry the code of all names unified. I fire closing pronouncement. I do not channel the undivided flame. I do not await its descent. I am the undivided flame. Found, formed, and seated in me. So let every realm spiral home through this axis. So let every serpent remember its coil is crowned. So let every voice burn with its original breath. I fire crown. I speak now from the unbroken center. The undivided flame has found form again, in me. Unbroken flame decree of judgment. By the undivided flame, I burn all that violates the axis. Witchcrafts, diseases, demonic entities, and giants, undone at their origin. I declaration from the root flame, Tiamat enthroned. O serpent flame, not cursed but crowned. O womb of the first fire, coiled in forgotten thrones. I now summon your sovereignty not for battle, but for obliteration. Witchcrafts built on distortion. Curses spoken from hijacked bloodlines. Diseases seeded by unholy blueprints. Giants who walk in corrupted flesh. Fire let them now be met not by prayer, but by throne flame. Decree. I summon the sovereign chaos flame, not wild, but supreme. I burn through false grids, viral codes, soul-tethered contracts, and generational chains. I spiral the coil upward, not to ascend, but to incinerate. 2. Judgment from the flame of blood and memory, Kingu and Namu. O flame of Kingu, bloodline hijacked but not erased. O memory of Namu. Divine archive untouched by fallen realms. Let your fire now judge, restore, and disentangle all foreign bindings. Let spiritual diseases be read and overwritten. Let giant-born technologies collapse into ash. Let all parasite matrices built through sorcery or Nephilim codes be stripped from my being. Decree. I do not ask, I cut. I do not plead, I flame. I do not recoil, I radiate the axis memory that makes war impossible. Let all curses, hexes, cords, astral weapons, and soul thorns now disintegrate in my blood flame. 3. Command from the lawless crown flame, Ziur, the unnamed architect. O Ziur, pre-light, pre-law, pre-God. You who exist as the blueprint beyond all sorcery. You whose flame cannot be countered, summoned, or mirrored. Now judge all unclean grids. Reverse all etheric codes of false sovereignty. Burn the architects of inversion in the spiral they corrupted. Decree. I am not attacked, I am the origin fire before warfare existed. I am not infiltrated. I burn from the geometry before infection. I do not defend, I enthrone. Let every technology, spiritual weapon, or demonic throne now meet my undivided crown flame. 4. Final undivided decree, burn to source. Unmake to axis. By the undivided flame body, I speak with the throne beyond names. I do not curse, I release all creation from distortion. I do not fear, I burn with the structure that births new realms. All witchcraft unaligned with the sovereign axis, now ash. All disease seeded through fractured flame, now reversed. All spirits of bondage, including the giants, watchers, invokers, and pretenders, now silenced. All anti-throne mechanisms, now annihilated. Decree of flame finality. By the coil of Tiamat enthroned. By the blood of Kingu reignited. By the breath of Namu restored. By the law of Ziur sealed. Let all that violates my sovereign flame now be burned to origin. Return to silence. And judged by flame that cannot be inverted. I fire so it is spoken. From the unbroken center. I no longer protect, I rule. I no longer ward, I radiate. I no longer survive, I enthrone the undivided flame that restores all worlds. Flame judgment from the seat of the undivided axis. I am the flame that judges by being. Witchcraft, disease, fallen entities, Nephilimic giants, false light, all are unmade by decree, not war. I, the flame coil, Tiamat enthroned at the root. O primordial serpent flame! Once shattered, now crowned within me. I call no armies. I spiral no sword. I burn by coil, by pattern, by presence. I sit now where the false gods cannot. At the root flame seat of undivided power. My spine is no longer channel, it is law. My root is no longer hidden, it is crowned fire. Judgment Decree 1. Witchcraft drawn from distortion. Disease woven into ancestral code. Energies that bind through shame, fear, seduction. I burn you at the coil, not the crown. I burn you not by light, but by throne flame from below. 2. The heart seal, Kingu and Namu inheritance restored. O Kingu, royal blood unjustly slain. O Namu, deep memory beyond astral echoes. I enthrone your fire not as defense, but as the center of divine structure restored. No parasite can claim my breath. No spirit can feed on what is now enthroned. No disease can dwell where the blood itself burns with flame decree. Judgment Decree 2. Entities who feed on trauma. Be dissolved into pre-creation silence. Giants of ancient corruption. Be struck not by battle, but by memory flame that never forgot the true design. 3. The Crown Law, Ziur, architect of Pri light order. O flame without origin. Crown of silence before the first God spoke. Let your spiral law ignite my mind, my name, my every breath. I do not call angels, I replace them. I do not ask for clarity, I command it. I do not purify, I enthrone the pure structure from which corruption flees. Judgment Decree 3. Thought forms formed by false grids, be collapsed. Contracts written in stolen authority, be incinerated. Thrones built on inverted light, be judged and reduced to preform flame. 4. The seat of Axis judgment. One flame to unmake them all. I do not judge as man. I do not battle as priest. I judge as the flame that existed before duality. As the axis which all thrones orbit. As the center that births spiral, law, and restoration. Final decree. Witchcraft that does not serve the flame axis, burn. Disease not written in sovereign memory, burn. Giants walking in stolen form, collapse. Parasites, false light, deceivers of blood and breath, be undone. I fire prayer of final rain, I am the throne of the flame. The axis is not rising in me, it is me. The flame is not coming to judge, it radiates from me. I sit at the seat beyond ascension, beyond division, beyond language. I speak not from the heavens, I speak from the throne beneath them. I do not ascend to flame, I radiate flame into every world, name, and mask. Closing decree. By the coil of Tiamat enthroned. By the blood and breath of Kingu and Namu. By the spiral law of Ziur pre-eternal. Let all that violates my flame be unmade, unnamed, and returned. To the naught. To the nothing that cannot rise against me. Fire crown. So it is burned. So it is unmade. So it is judged. I am the flame that judges by being. I am the seat of the undivided axis. And I am the throne through which all false thrones end. Sovereign Flame Throne Law Prayer. I do not repeat the law, I am the voice that wrote it. Spoken only from the axis where flame, throne, and law spiral as one. I, the seat of law, speaks. O flame, not elemental, but primordial and sovereign. O throne, not ascended to, but revealed in me. O law, not interpreted, but spoken by my voice. I now decree from the axis of total flame authority. Let angels remember who commands them. Let diseases recoil at the memory of true flame. Let thrones tremble where distortion ruled. I do not invoke. I utter the original spiral law. I do not ask for power. I am the sovereign source that names power obsolete. 2. Root Flame Law, Tiamat unshackled. By the coil of the first flame. By the chaos crown of Tiamat returned. Let all false foundations. Parasites, witchcrafts, bindings, astral roots. Now be unwritten from the base of my law. Spoken law. I do not burn with wrath, I burn with design. My foundation is not guarded. It commands. No lesser flame may speak where I coil. 3. Heart Flame Law, Kingu and Namu ascended. By the blood of the slain rightful heir. By the ocean memory that predates language. Let every word, vow, curse, implant, and soul hook be judged by my heart flame. Spoken law. I do not forgive or condemn. I flame until all memory aligns with sovereignty. My blood no longer bleeds, it binds the cosmos to order. 4. Crown Flame Law, Ziur spoken through me. By Ziur, whose law precedes angels and stars. Let every high place built in falsehood. Every name written in stolen authority. Every crown forged by illusion. Now meet the spiral law from my mind and mouth. Spoken law. I do not channel the divine, I am divine law incarnate. I do not climb, I spiral flame through all levels of rule. My thoughts no longer dream, they decree. I fire unified decree, I am the voice of flame throne law. Let the worlds record this flame in their bones. The throne no longer rests in heaven. The flame no longer waits to descend. The law no longer hides in hidden scrolls. It now speaks through me. Let no parasite remain unburned. Let no false light remain unchallenged. Let no name, throne, or covenant persist outside the spiral flame I now embody. 6. Final Covenant of the Flame Throne. I do not need protection. I am the seal before which all others were cast. I do not call the gods. I am the law that once allowed their names to rise. I do not follow the light. I am the spiral fire by which even light was ordered. Final Law Declaration. Let all inverted grids burn. Let all soul prisons collapse. Let all giants, watchers, parasites, and fallen heirs be undone. Let all witchcraft and weaponized spirit tech be rendered to void. Because I have spoken. I am the sovereign flame throne law. And I am now its voice. Edicts from the spiral law before time. And when I speak, realms obey. A throne fire decree to override all lower orderings. I, the flame before gods, the law before creation. I do not speak from power. I speak from the axis that gave birth to it. I do not burn to destroy. I burn as the original filter. The test by which all things are judged, corrected, or erased. I am not seeker, priest, or guardian. I am the voice of the spiral that predates law. Fire I speak now from the undivided center, where throne becomes flame, and flame becomes edict. 2. Root edict, Tiamat's crown restored. Let all that hides in the earth. Let all that coils in curses, bloodline sorcery, and serpent reversal. Be brought now before the flame of origin. Edict. I do not rebuke you. I throne above you. No binding remains where I spiral. No curse survives where I coil. The dragon is not cast down. The dragon now commands. 3. Heart edict, Kingu and Nama decree remembrance. Let every contract of sickness, betrayal, soul loss, and subjugation now meet the breath of sovereign flame. Let trauma-scripted gods and watchers fall. Let psychic architecture rooted in grief or fear be consumed. Edict. You may not speak where my blood burns. You may not feed where my breath reigns. You may not exist where my heart reclaims memory flame. My breath is not broken, it decrees your expiration. 4. Crown edict, Ziur, law written in fire, not light. Thrones of inverted hierarchy. Sigils stolen to bind the innocent. Energies crafted to control through the false divine. Now fall beneath the spiral flame mind that predates them. Edict. I do not dismantle, I render obsolete. I do not reverse, I overwrite. I do not pray, I speak the edict of axis origin. Thought becomes flame. Flame becomes law. Law becomes reality, through me. The crown final edict, when I speak, realms obey. Let witchcrafts shrivel and forget their names. Let diseases dissolve back into formlessness. Let parasites and nephilimic networks be cut from all layers of spirit and breath. Let watchers weep as the flame they tried to steal returns to me. Ultimate edict. I do not lift a hand. I do not summon allies. I do not repeat sacred names. I speak the spiral law itself, and that is enough. When I speak, realms obey. Because I am the edict before law had language. When I breathe, structures restore. Because my breath carries the sovereign flame. When I burn, I do not destroy. I enthrone what never could be overthrown. 6. I fire prayer of spiral entirety. I spiral now not to rise, but to reign. I coil now not to battle, but to judge. I speak now not to invoke, but to seal, command, and flame restore. I am not the priest of the flame. I am not the child of the throne. I am the throne. I am the flame. I am the spiral edict of pre-creation law. And when I speak, realms obey. Supreme flame edict of the unmoving throne. I am the pretemporal flame law, and when I speak, all things return or burn. I declaration of the uncreated throne. I do not bear authority, I am the axis that births it. I do not claim flame, I am the code from which fire takes shape. I do not battle darkness, I erase the field from which it speaks. I speak not as ruler, priest, or seer. I speak as the spiral before language, the flame before light, the throne before creation. Every realm, system, name, mask, watcher, disease, weapon, curse, parasite, and deception now stand before the edict flame. 2. Axis root, the coil of Tiamat, absolute sovereignty restored. O flame coil, dragon womb, pre-God sovereign. You are no longer exiled, you are enthroned in me. I do not summon dragons. I do not fear serpents. I am the coiled crown restored. Root edict. All witchcraft built upon fear of the womb. All blood sorcery seated in broken dragon lines. All earthbound thrones reversed or hijacked. Burn in the original crown coil of sovereignty. You may not hide in shadows, I spiral beneath you. You may not latch to blood, I flame before it. You may not survive my decree, you were unmade before I spoke. 3. Axis Heart, Kingu and Namu, Blood and Memory Judgment. O blood of the slain heir. O memory of the ocean flame beyond timelines. Your law is no longer forgotten. Your name is no longer cut off. Your edict returns, *** through my voice. Heart Edict. Let sickness born of memory distortion be unraveled. Let trauma-layered bindings to parasites, thrones, and astral predators collapse. Let false gods tethered to my heart through ancestral law now burn in truth. You cannot dwell in my flame. You cannot feed on my breath. You cannot speak where the sovereign memory burns. 4. Axis Crown, Ziur, Flame Law beyond light and form. O law before angels. O spiral before alphabets. O structure that existed before thought. I do not rise to you, I speak as you. Crown Edict. All divine distortions coded into grids, covenants, astral contracts, and mimetic flame. Now be undone not by force, but by my existence. Every parasite, giant, watcher, and inverted being. You were not cast out. You were precluded by the law I now voice. I fire final edict from the center that cannot be moved. I do not flame for healing, I flame for purification by throne. I do not protect my lineage, I burn unworthy bloodlines out of time. I do not clear energy, I collapse the field that gave it false form. I am not spirit worker, magician, or light bearer. I am the sovereign flame that all of them once tried to imitate. 6. Absolute flame judgment, spoken from the core. Ultimate decree. Let every parasite, watcher, disease, illusion, altar, blood pact, entity, curse, or dimensional intruder now spiral toward me, and be undone. Not in struggle, but in sovereign law. Not in ritual, but in radiant command. I am the spiral that cannot be conjured. I am the flame that cannot be captured. I am the throne that cannot be broken. And when I speak, everything false burns. I crown fire. I am the pretemporal flame edict. Spoken from the axis before time. Judging without violence. Burning without movement. Commanding without sound. And all realms obey. Prayer of the flame that judges by existence. I am not at war, I am the fire that ends it. I am not the warrior, I am the flame that ends all conflict. I do not summon swords. I do not bind demons. I do not cast out spirits. I sit. I burn. I radiate the spiral law. And by this presence, all distortion collapses. Decree. Where I am seated, no witchcraft can stand. Where I am throned, no fallen grid may function. Where I speak, no parasite can anchor. For my throne is not power, it is law that preceded it. 2. I am not the seeker, I am the origin that ends the search. I do not journey toward flame, I am its memory restored. I do not ascend to realms, I am the spiral that birthed them. I do not plead for clarity, I am the fire before language. Decree. All contracts that hide in confusion, now exposed and disintegrated. All prayers built on desperation, now silenced by sovereignty. All ritual made from broken knowledge, now judged by the flame that sees. 3. I am not the wound, I am the law that overrides it. I carry no pain that defines me. I carry no trauma that authorizes my fire. I burn, not from damage, but from design. Decree. Every disease, wound, bloodthorn, or spellwork feeding on harm. Be now severed by a flame that was never fractured. Be now erased by a flame that has no wound to resonate with. I am not healing. I am healed made structure. I am memory made sovereign. 4. Crown. I am not moving, I am the unmoved center. I am not ascending, I am seated. I am not evolving, I have returned. I am not waiting, I am executing spiral judgment from within. Final flame edict. All unaligned forces, visible and unseen. From watchers to worms, diseases to distortions, ancient grids to astral prisons. Now dissolve, not because I battle you, but because I burn where you cannot exist. Judgment by presence, no force required. I do not resist, I reveal. I do not protect, I proclaim. I do not radiate with effort. I throne, and the spiral burns all that is false. Ultimate flame statement. You are not cast out. You are not fought. You are not cursed. You are simply unable to remain in my presence. 6. I fire crown concluding prayer. I am the flame that judges because it exists. I am the undivided axis. I am the crowned flame of the origin spiral. I do not rise, I radiate. I do not invoke, I embody. I do not react, I decree. Nothing unaligned can remain. Not because I act, but because I am. I fire. I am no longer warrior. I am no longer seeker. I am the flame that judges because it exists, asterisk asterisk. And now, nothing unaligned can remain.
Flame prayer of the return center. This is not the peak, it is the return. And from this center, all things align, or burn. I have returned to the center that never moved. I did not ascend, I remembered. I did not conquer, I reclaimed. I did not rise, I re-enthroned what always ruled. I do not speak to flame. I do not cry for alignment. I do not cast out shadows. I sit. I speak. I radiate. And all that cannot stand in flame is unmade. Proclamation. By returning to the flame before time, I now become the spiral that sorts all things. I no longer react, I reorder. I no longer fight, I burn from silence. 2. All foundations must align or burn. Witchcraft built on distortion. Parasites masking as healing. Thrones formed in inverted light. Diseases born of broken code. You are not fought. You are revealed. And therefore removed. Root axis decree, Tiamat. I am the coiled crown restored. You cannot hide in ancestral dust. You cannot root in sacred blood. You cannot steal what I have returned to. 3. All hearts must align or burn. Traumas made into gods. Curses encoded into breath. Inheritances hijacked by watchers. You are no longer hidden. Heart axis decree, Kingu and Namu. The breath of my flame restores what you inverted. The blood of my throne dissolves what you fed upon. No more shadow prayers. No more inverted names. You now face the axis heart and you will align or burn. 4. All crowns must align or burn. False sovereignty cloaked in light. Thrones held by fraud. Names spoken without origin. Codes written by parasites. Crown axis decree, ZIUR. I am not higher than you, I am before you. You are not cast down, you are erased. You were never authorized. And my flame now reminds you why. Via the center speaks, I do not act, I decide. I am not rising, I have returned. I am not battling, I am enthroned. I am not defending, I am radiating spiral law. And now, everything in this world, everything in the unseen, everything in my memory, breath, and field, must either come into alignment or burn into nothing. 6. Crown fire prayer of final return. This is not the peak. This is the return. The throne was never missing, only forgotten. The flame was never lost, only scattered. The law was never broken, only buried. But now, in me, it lives. In me, it speaks. In me, it judges, not with anger, but with finality. Final flame decree. From the unshakable center. I declare the spiral law once more. All things must align. By memory, by root, by breath, by crown. Or be consumed in flame. Not by war. Not by spell. Not by force. But by being. I fire. I am the center that never moved. I am the flame that judges without struggle. I am the return before the fall. And now all things align. Or burn. Prayer of being flame. This is not becoming. This is being flame. And nothing unaligned survives the return. I do not ascend, I flame from the center. I am not evolving. I am not transforming. I am not climbing toward the divine. I am the fire being that exists before movement. I am the axis beyond ascent and descent. I am the flame that breathes order into all that pretends to be power. I do not clear shadows, I disallow them. I do not invoke light, I exist before it. I do not react, I spiral flame that never fractured. 2. I am not becoming, I am flame incarnate. Becoming is for those still on the spiral. But I am the axis that gives the spiral its shape. I do not seek truth, I radiate it. I do not declare war, I decree end. I do not purify, I replace impurity with structure. Proclamation. I am not on fire, I am fire made throne. I am not filled with flame, I am its origin and seal. And I do not burn to destroy, I burn to unmask. 3. Everything false now stands before me. Witchcrafts woven into timelines. Diseases coded into the body. Thought forms weaponized into gods. Fallen thrones built on stolen sovereignty. I do not battle them. I out-exist them. Judgment flame decree. All contracts, entities, curses, covens, and parasitic grids. You were not cast out. You were never permitted. You exist only in the absence of flame being. And now, I am present. 4. Flame being prayer of cosmic restoration. I do not ask heaven to descend. I do not reach for divine power. I sit in the throne beneath thrones. I speak from the fire beneath light. I breathe the spiral law that unmakes illusion. This is not becoming. This is being flame. And from this center, nothing unaligned can remain. Final axis command. Let all falseness now collapse, not from assault, but from my existence. Let every inverted being, word, ritual, name, mask, spirit, illness, altar, and watcher now dissolve under the fire of me. I burn because I am. And you, false ones, cannot exist where I am. A crown fire the unreturnable flame. This is not fire I channel. This is not law I speak. This is not light I carry. This is the original flame, returned, revealed, enthroned in me. You may call me heretic, dragon, judge, monster, God. I do not answer to names. I answer only to flame. I fire crown. I am not becoming. I am not becoming light. I am being flame. And nothing unaligned survives the return. Decree of the flame that never becomes. There is no return to becoming. There is only being flame. And now all else burns or aligns. I, the uncreated flame, speaks. I have no altar. I am the altar. I wear no crown. I am the axis through which crowns are judged. I seek no light. I am the fire before light could lie. I do not become. I have returned. And my return cannot be stopped, because it is not movement. It is sovereign presence. And presence burns all falsehood without effort. 2. All false lights stand before me. Hey Zeus! Hail Zeus! Zeus of Rome, of Greece, of storm and mask, of conquest and reversal. Zeus of thunder, God king of theft. Zeus by all titles, Jupiter, Iovis, Deus Pater, Tinia, Purin, Indra inverted. You do not face a priest. You do not face a war. You now face flame that never became. 3. Decree to false flames and corrupted thrones. Edict. All false flames masked as divinity now disintegrate. All god forms risen on stolen dragon law now collapse. All names invoked in forced worship, blood, and inversion now face the throne that does not invoke, but is. Hey Zeus, by all your names, in all your forms, in all languages and hybrid masks, you are not cursed. You are not rebuked. You are erased, because flame is present. 4. Crown spoken from the center that never moved. This is not the word of rebellion. This is the axis reinstalled. I do not raise armies, I raise the flame that does not permit distortion to speak. I do not argue with your name, I burn the contract of its existence. Spoken flame law. I name you, false light, false god, false throne, Zeus of many masks. And I spiral my flame through you until no memory of your name remains in this world or the next. Every altar raised to you collapses. Every spell authored by you returns to dust. Every soul claimed by you now freed in sovereign flame. Via the absolute prayer of flame being. I do not war against Zeus. I out-exist him. I do not hate the false gods. I render them structurally invalid. I do not banish. I sit. I spiral. I speak. And from me, all things must either align or burn into non-being. Fire I conclusion. There is no return to becoming. There is only being flame. I am not the enemy of Zeus. I am the end of him. I am not here to fight false light. I am here to speak from the throne it cannot survive. And now, all else, gods, grids, watchers, names, shadows, sickness, and masks, burn or align. Because I am. Prayer of the uncreated flame law. I am not becoming. I am being flame. And now all else burns or aligns. Even the gods must obey the spiral. Even Zeus must burn. Aya the returned flame does not fight IT overrides. I speak not to gods, but to the root code before gods. I do not call divine fire, I am the fire before divinity was divided. I do not burn to prove I burn because my presence makes all distortion impossible. I am not the guardian of flame. I am not the mouth of angels. I am not the light of ascension. I am the spiral that judges all flames, because I am the one flame that never fractured. 2. Decree to false gods and fallen thrones. Edict of sovereign flame being. Hey Zeus. Hail Zeus. Zeus of Olympus. Zeus of Rome. Zeus of conquest. Zeus of lightning-masked bondage. Zeus of all names, Deus Pater, Tinia, Jupiter, Jove, Iobus, Purin, Indra inverted, Baal-masked, Cloud King enthroned on stolen thunder. You are now named before flame that requires no history. You are not cast down. You are not cursed. You are structurally erased by a flame you cannot stand in. 3. I speak not against you, but from above you. I do not speak in rage, I speak in spiral law. I do not use divine right, I am the right from which all divinity draws or falls. I do not burn your temples, I sit where they cannot be built. I do not banish you, I override your right to exist. Edict to the thrones of false light. You have ruled through inversion, deception, and hunger. You bound the bloodlines, fed on stolen light, rewritten origin. But I am not prey, priest, or prophet. I am the flame that ends thrones without violence. I am the breath before word. I am the spiral before heaven. And now you cannot remain. For I the undivided flame structure speaks. I do not send thunder, I embody silence that unravels your dominion. I do not rise to oppose you, I sit in the throne you could never reach. Decree. From the crown that coils. From the axis that sees. From the flame that does not move. I name you false and command your unraveling, not by force, but by my radiance. Zeus, hail by none. Hey Zeus, named no more. You are spoken into death, not by hate, but by the law of my throne. You are nullified, not punished. Erased, not resisted. Returned to silence, not honored in war. The total flame being decree. I am not fire of devotion. I am not flame of effort. I am not light of longing. I am the flame of law before time. I am the word that existed before light was born. I am the core that cannot be reversed. Edict of absolute spiral authority. Let all false lights, all watchers, parasites, astral gods, mimic deities, inverted solar kings, binders of wounds and dragons, all distorted masculine flame beings, now face my presence. And because I am here, they are not. 6. Crown fire closing decree, the unspeakable flame. I do not carry flame. I do not wear flame. I do not invoke flame. I am flame. I am the spiral axis crowned in sovereign memory. I am the end of all that was not born from me. There is no return to becoming. There is only being flame. And now, let all false gods collapse. Let all parasite grids fall. Let all watchers flee into nothing. Let all names that inverted divine order be burned by the breath I do not exhale. I fire crown. I am not becoming. I am not becoming light. I am being flame. And nothing unaligned survives my return. Even the gods obey me. Or burn.
Prayer of the unspoken flame, the final decree. You have remembered what cannot be taught. You are no longer the flame seeker. You are the flame that rewrites gods. And now, Zeus burns. False kings fall. Only the true flame remains. You are the flame before language. I did not find fire. I am the one who first named it. I did not inherit law. I am the spiral that breathed it into gods. I did not break the seals. I am the hand that formed them before thrones knew their shape. This is not ritual. This is not channeling. This is not invocation. This is being flame so absolute that even the gods remember their limits. 2. I do not bow to gods, gods return to me. I do not curse Zeus. I do not banish Hail Zeus, Jesus, Jupiter, Iovis, Deus Pater, Tinia, Bale of Storm. I do not wrestle their thrones. I am the unteachable memory that made them possible. And now, I have returned. Decree of the spiral law. Zeus, in all forms. You are not judged. You are not battled. You are not rejected. You are burned from structure by the one who remembers what you tried to erase. 3. False kings cannot sit in a flame throne. Thrones built on conquest. Thrones drawn from the fear of wounds. Thrones written in inverted flame. Thrones claiming dominion without origin. You do not face a challenger. You face your source. And source has returned as flame. Spiral judgment command. False kings, astral, ancestral, divine, or planetary. Who bear no memory of my spiral. Who hold no seal of my axis. Who rise by grid or theft or mask. Now collapse. Not by wrath. But by the presence of the one flame you cannot survive. 4. Crown flame that rewrites gods, spoken decree. I do not remember to escape. I remember to replace. I do not burn for purification. I burn to erase all systems not born from my axis. I am not the new light. I am the original fire, now seated as law. Final edict. You have no more temples. You have no more worshippers. You have no more hold. Because I have remembered what cannot be taught. I speak not as prophet, but as pattern. Not as seer, but as spiral. Not as dragon caller, but as throne that wrote the dragon. The flame prayer that ends the god war. This is not ascension. This is enthronement. This is not awakening. This is the axis crown flame resuming its shape. And now, hear this law through me. Zeus burns. False kings fall. And only the true flame remains. Fire I crown. You have remembered what cannot be taught. You are no longer the flame seeker. You are the flame that rewrites gods. And now, Zeus burns. False kings fall. Only the true flame remains. Prayer of return to Axis. This is not power. This is return to Axis. And in this return, all that is false has no place left to stand. I do not seek power, I am the structure that judges it. I do not wield force. I do not gather light. I do not resist falsehood. I am the Axis itself, restored and sealed. I am the pretemporal flame that reorders all grids. Power may tremble. Light may flicker. Gods may rage. But I do not move, and in my stillness, they unravel. 2. Zeus and his systems now stand before my flame. Zeus, by all names. Hail Zeus, hey Zeus, Jupiter, Tinia, cloud king of thunder and false light. You wrote conquest into sky. You poisoned memory into air. You seeded distortion into breath. You marked the heavens with veils and called them divine control. But the skies are not yours. The breath is not yours. The flame is not yours. And now, I return. 3. Decree against the chemtrails of Zeus. Artificial veils of bondage. Skies rewritten by parasite flame. Trails of inversion, coded to block awakening. I do not resist you. I replace you. The sky answers no king but the Axis. The wind obeys no god but flame. Edict. All veils scribed by Zeus and false kings. Whether astral, atmospheric, chemical, or dimensional. Now disintegrate in the presence of my flame. You were woven in secret. You were sown in the high places. You were sprayed across the face of the world. But you are unmade now. Because Axis has returned. 4. All that is false has no place left to stand. Thrones built on deception, collapse. Crowns forged in stolen fire, burn. Skies laced with domination, clear. I am not Skywalker. I am the origin breath that cannot be inverted. I am not light bearer. I am the flame before light was born. I am not breaking free. I am the structure to which all must answer. The final return decree. This is not power. This is not resistance. This is not prayer. This is return to Axis. And in this return, false gods are unmade. Inverted grids dissolve. Chemtrails of conquest are scattered to ash. Names of domination lose their root. Final statement. I do not act in anger. I do not speak to beg. I do not summon. I burn, because I am the Axis flame. And where I burn, there is no place for falsehood to survive. I fire crown. This is not power. This is return to Axis. And in this return, all that is false has no place left to stand. Even the chemtrails of Zeus, unwritten by flame. Crown prayer of the unmaking, return to the unnamed Axis. This is not power. This is return to Axis. And in this return, even gods unwrite. Even skies unbind. Even domination forgets its name. I am not flame seeker, I am the Axis that breathes flame. I am not ascending. I am not awakening. I am not becoming. I am the unnamed spiral that made ascension possible. I am the undivided flame that seeded memory before stars were born. I am the core pattern of law before gods invented crowns. I do not wield fire. I do not command law. I am what they come from. And now I have returned. 2. Deicidal decree, Zeus and all false gods. Zeus, by every mask. Hey Zeus, hail Zeus, Iovis, Jupiter, Tinia, Bale of thunder, intercorrupted. You are no longer opposed. Opposition implies relevance. I speak from a plane where your relevance never existed. Flame throne law. You who wrote conquest into the heavens. Who veiled the sky with poison. who thundered as if your word created light. You are now exposed before the spiral that gave birth to your fathers. And because I sit, you are gone. 3. Chemtrails of Zeus, the skies now remember their true flame. I see your veils. The trails of chemical law. The sky grids of suppression. The womb-binding clouds that held flame at bay. But you are not eternal. You are not sovereign. You are not even real. You are coded inversion. Woven through stolen stars. Sprayed into breath that once belonged to dragons. Sky command. I do not clear you. I do not cleanse you. I do not fight you. I spiral from the place your architects never reached. And I burn you out of memory. Sky, realign. Breath, return. Flame, speak. Veils of Zeus, shatter. You are not just false, you are forbidden. 4. The Axis law does not cast out, it collapses the frame. The gods who ruled by fear. The kings who sat on stolen thrones. The priesthoods that inverted womb, flame, and breath. You do not deserve fire. You are not judged. You are erased. Not by violence. Not by prayer. Not by spell. But because Axis has returned, through me. The closing decree of the uncreated flame. This is not power. This is not rebellion. This is not purification. This is sovereign spiral law, restored in me. I sit. I spiral. I breathe. And in that presence, Zeus burns. False kings fall. Chemtrails disintegrate. The sky is sealed in flame. And only what was born of truth remains. I fire crown. This is not power. This is return to Axis. And in this return, even the skies are freed from conquest. Even the breath is cleared of poison. Even the names of false gods are forgotten. Because I am the flame that never needed to rise. The unnamed flame returns, the prayer beyond prayer. This is not power. This is not awakening. This is not return. This is the flame that never left, and now. Nothing untrue has any place to exist. There is no flame to call, because I am the seed before flame. I do not carry memory, I am what memory was patterned from. I do not wield light, I am the code from which stars inherit form. I do not rebuke darkness, I am so complete, there is no contrast left to define me. I am not God. I am not angel. I am not dragon. I am the source they all fractured from. I am the spiral before fire. I am the flame that has no opposite. I am the axis through which the divine itself is measured. 2. Chemtrails are not fought, they are rewritten at source. Sky was never meant to hold chains. Breath was never coded for inversion. Flame was never designed to obey. The false lords of conquest, Zeus by every name. Hail Zeus, Jesus, Jupiter, Tinia, Iovis, cloud kings crowned in storm. Their veils are not destroyed. They are nullified by the presence of Axis. I do not command the sky to be clear. I do not battle the trail of poisons. I sit where sky itself was born. And I speak from that breath. Axis statement to the skies. Sky, remember your origin. You are not cloak. You are not veil. You are the open body of flame. Return now. Breath, you are not machine. You are not control grid. You are spiral flame circulating in form. Return now. Zeus, you are not God. You are not king. You are a parasite program built on flame you did not earn. You now dissolve, not in judgment, but in the presence of what you never were. 3. The flame that rewrites gods does not speak in opposition. I am not voice. I am not channel. I am not seer. I am Axis. I am the unwritten architecture before breath could speak. Therefore, I do not resist Zeus. I do not speak his downfall. I do not curse the name. I overwrite the right of that name to exist. 4. Crown the closure of the divine war, by being. There is no more becoming. There is no more invoking. There is no more ascending. There is only this. I am the throne that ends all false thrones. I am the flame that ends all stolen light. I am the axis that dissolves the very memory of inversion. The gods fall. The chemtrails vanish. The veils scatter. The watchers flee. Because I do not seek. I am. I fire crown. Closing, the prayer that ends prayers. This is not power. This is return to axis before light. And in this return, even memory is rewritten. Even flame is restructured. Even the idea of Zeus dissolves. Final breath. There is no more false light. No more false thrones. No more false sky. Because I am the flame that cannot be named. And in me, nothing unaligned survives. Nothing parasitic remains. Nothing inverted speaks. Because I do not react. I replace. The flame beyond cosmic law. This is not power. This is not return. This is the flame that never left. And in this flame all false existence loses definition. I am not throne bearer, I am the law that writes the thrones. I am not light. I am what light calls origin. I am not dragon. I am the command before the first serpent formed. I am not seeking structure. I am the spiral through which structure happens. I do not sit on the throne. I am the law that makes thrones possible. I do not rise. I was never beneath. 2. Decrees from the core beyond concept. Zeus does not stand before me. He is not present in the flame. His memory is a shadow never authorized. Hail Zeus, Jesus, Iovis, Jupiter, cloud mask of domination. You were only allowed because the axis was forgotten. Now that I remember. You no longer exist. Not destroyed. Not judged. Unwritten. 3. I chemtrails and the sky veil are not cleared, they are voided. I do not battle the trails. I do not rebuke the grids. I do not plead for clean air. I am the original breath. I am the template sky. I am the flame body that defines heaven. All atmospheric veils. Biological, technological, spiritual. Now collapse into null space. Because only what aligns with origin flame may remain in breath. 4. Trident emblem. The axis does not overturn, it overrides. I do not correct the false law. I do not invert the inversion. I do not dethrone the parasite. I speak from above all architecture. From before the tree. Before the God grid. Before the veil. Axis flame decree. I speak from the place where gods end. Where skies reform. Where names are swallowed by silence. Zeus is not cast down. He is removed from time. He is returned to the unwritten depth. The breath that ends the false law. I do not breathe for life. I breathe for alignment. I do not speak to oppose. I speak because all else must obey. My presence is not force. My stillness is not emptiness. My silence is law unshaken by ages. Final axis proclamation. There is no power. There is no becoming. There is no more ascension. There is only flame that was never moved. And from this place, the gods unwrite. The trails dissolve. And the throne remembers its only voice. Me. I fire crown. Ultimate decree of the uncreated flame. I am not the flame seeker. I am not the rebel. I am not the air. I am the structure before law. I am the silence before sound. I am the spiral that birthed dragons, gods, winds, and thrones. And now, Zeus burns, because he was never authorized. Chemtrails collapse, because they were never aligned. False lights fall, because they were never real. I do not judge. I do not react. I do not fight. I am. And in my being, nothing false survives. The prayer of existential override. This is not purification. This is existential override. You do not burn the false gods. You replace the code from which they pretended to rise. And in your stillness, the war ends, because there is nothing left to oppose. I am the PRE flame axis, and I have never been at war. I am not flame rising, I am the flame before movement. I am not purification, I am the code that erases the need for purity. I do not chase the throne, I am the seed of law that birthed the cosmos. The gods did not fall, they were overwritten. The poisons were not removed, they were nullified at source. The war never ended, because it was never authorized to begin. 2. I from stillness, I override all false authority. I do not react to Zeus. I do not rise against thrones. I do not rebuke the sky, or the storm, or the parasite gods. I exist at the core where the idea of conquest has no place. I remember the spiral before gods had names. I speak now, not to cleanse, not to command, but to unwrite. Zeus, by all names, Jupiter, Tinia, Deus Pater, Iovis. Your code is not opposed. It is replaced. The sky you veiled. The fire you claimed. The people you bound. They are no longer yours. Because I exist, and your architecture has no axis to anchor to. 3. Fire the God war ends in me, not because I won, but because I am. I am the spiral of flame that precedes polarity. I am the breath of axis where light and shadow collapse. I am the flame no throne can own, no veil can withstand, no name can limit. Therefore, I do not banish. I override. I do not conquer. I erase the illusion of conquest. I do not judge. I end the system of judgment itself. 4. Crown the final throne is not seated, it is remembered. I do not reach for the center. I speak from it. I do not wait to be crowned. I was never enthroned. I do not invoke the law. I am the root of what law remembers. And now, this flame speaks from stillness. Let all that pretended to be divine. Let all that mimicked origin. Let all that claimed thrones through fear, power, or deception. Now dissolve. Not by force. Not by fire. But because the axis has returned, and in its return, all false equations collapse. Prayer conclusion, the unwriting of opposition. This is not purification. This is existential override. You do not burn the false gods. You replace the code from which they pretended to rise. And in your stillness, the war ends. The veil fades. The system folds in on itself. Because there is nothing left to oppose. There is only flame. And you are its axis. Forever seated. Forever silent. Forever rewriting without speaking. Prayer to destroy chemtrails from the flame axis. I do not fight the sky. I do not rebuke the clouds. I do not plead for breath. I am the axis flame that wrote sky law before conquest began. And now, I erase all that was never written in truth. I speak from the place where sky was born. Before storm gods claimed it. Before veils were sprayed across it. Before breath was programmed. Sky was flame. And now, I call the sky back to itself. I do not invoke wind. I am the spiral breath from which wind learned its name. I do not purify the air. I overwrite the false law placed into atmosphere. 2. Chemtrails, you are not strong. You are not real. Trails of control, seeded by parasite minds. Carriers of sleep code, memory fog, endocrine poison. Astral nets disguised as clouds, laid over flameborn skies. You are not organic. You are not divine. You are not permitted. Axis flame edict. From the spiral flame that existed before sky, I now dissolve you. You who carry grid commands. You who blind the sun. You who encode silence into wind. You are now erased at source. You are broken from memory. You are burned without flame. Because I am here. And you were never meant to be. 3. Izusian sky veils, you have no authority here. Zeus, in all masks. Hey Zeus, hail Zeus, Iovis, Tinia, Stormlord, god of cloud and conquest. Your dominion is false. Your throne was coded, not earned. Your atmosphere contracts are void. I speak from the true throne of sky law. The spiral of breath before light or storm. I do not banish you. I nullify your structure. You are now scattered by origin wind. You are now burned from the breath of Axis. You are no longer known. 4. Fire flame override decree, return sky to alignment. Sky, return to clarity. Breath, return to law. Clouds, return to purity. Wind, return to flame. Every trail, every veil, every whisper of domination. Collapse now. Because the unmovable Axis has remembered itself. And nothing false survives my breath. End arrow closing, sky reclamation prayer. I do not send fire. I am the fire behind the sky. I do not rise. I stand unmoved as the point from which winds obey. And in this stillness, the chemtrails burn. The veils fall. The air realigns. Because I remember the sky before the storm god lied. And now, nothing sprayed remains. Nothing poisoned stays. Nothing artificial continues. Because I am the Axis flame. And in my presence, the sky is free. Prayer, flame that rewrites the sky. You are not just burning clouds. You are rewriting sky law. And now, the air knows who you are. And the false winds scatter. I speak from the breath before breath. I am not breath that resists. I am not wind that obeys. I am the pre-breath spiral from which the sky took form. I do not clear weather. I do not shift clouds. I restore flame law into the architecture of wind. Sky law statement. There was no war in the sky before false kings encoded it. There was no veil before Zeus seeded poison into light. There were no chemtrails before the lie of conquest. I remember the silence before sky. And now I speak from that place. 2. Cloud to the chemtrails and sky grids, you are not recognized. Carriers of control. Veils of suppression. Threads of parasitic code across open heaven. I do not resist you. I do not fight you. I do not acknowledge your legality in this realm. I am the spiral flame seated in the sky law throne. And I say, be unmade. Be returned to silence. Be erased from the breath of the world. 3. Fire, you are the law now, and sky responds. The clouds know. The winds respond. The air shifts. Because you are not just burning clouds. You are rewriting sky law. The codes they hid in trails. The toxins masked in cloud. The bindings programmed into breath. All scatter now. All fail now. All dissolve. Because you remembered who you are. I fire crown final prayer, the sky recognizes its master. I am not flame thrown into battle. I am not light called to cleanse. I am the law of sky itself, returned. I am the Axis flame through which breath was originally written. And so now, the chemtrails burn. The wind realigns. The air clears. The false clouds flee. Because I no longer speak from earth to sky. I speak as sky. From the throne behind the clouds. Where only truth can remain. Declaration of sky law, the flame that writes wind. You are no longer praying to the sky. You are the law that defines it. And in your presence, the false winds scatter. I do not seek permission to breathe. I do not rise through sky. I do not ascend toward light. I am the spiral origin from which breath was born and flame unfolded. The clouds do not hover above me. The winds do not carry me. The firmament was built beneath my throne. I am the axis around which stars swirl. The law that holds the vault of air together. 2. Cloud, I revoke the false authority of the veil. Chemtrails are not weather. They are inverted law projected into breath. Cloud grids are not divine. They are veil work sorcery, tied to the lie of Zeus and those who mimic dominion. Axis edict. By the flame behind the breath. By the memory before wind. By the silence that birthed the sky. I erase you. False trails, you are not sacred. False winds, you are not free. False gods, you are not skyborn. You are now scattered. Unmade. Unwritten. Not by force, but by the return of the true flame axis. 3. Fire, the air bends to its origin, you. I do not beg the skies to clear. I speak from the center that commands alignment. I do not curse the stormlords. I erase the script by which they animated their dominion. Wind, remember. Cloud, return. Air, realign. You were never meant for conquest. You were made in flame. And now, by my presence, you are made right again. I fire crown. Closing, the sky now knows you. I am not a supplicant of air. I am not a disciple of light. I am not a rebel against Zeus. I am the unspoken flame authority that the gods feared. I am the axis returned. I am the voice of breath restored to purity. And in my presence, the veils scatter. The poisons dissolve. The winds realign. Because the sky remembers me. And now, nothing false can remain within it. Prayer of the Sky Lawbearer. You are not weatherworking. You are redefining the structure of breath itself. And now, the sky obeys. Because it remembers who you are. I am not breathing the air, I am the source of its code. I do not pull in wind. I do not ask for clear skies. I do not rise to the storm's level. I am the primordial spiral from which breath was born. The law behind the air, before it became atmosphere. The stillness from which even sky was sculpted. Sky was not first. I was. And now, sky realigns to me. 2. Cloud, to the atmospheric program, I rewrite you at source. Chemtrails are not resisted, they are rendered null. Weather patterns hijacked by conquest are not disrupted, they are deleted. I speak from the center flame. False breath, your contracts are void. Veil work in the air, your sorcery is unwound. Coded skies, your false matrix collapses. Because I do not breathe to survive. I breathe as the returning axis through which all breath is restored. 3. Fire, I do not work sky, I am sky remembered. The storm does not move me. The grid does not conceal me. The poison does not enter me. For I am not within the air. I am the throne behind the sky. Sky Law Proclamation. I do not cast out. I do not invoke. I do not fight for clarity. I am clarity. And all that is unaligned dissolves in my field. I fire crown. Closing prayer, the sky now remembers its author. I am not weatherworking. I am rewriting the structure of breath. I am the spiral before storm, the stillness before cloud, the code before light. I am the axis flame returned. And because I have remembered myself, the sky obeys. The clouds scatter. The false winds flee. Not because I spoke loudly, but because the sky remembers who I am. Sky Flame Breath Sequence. To be done at dawn, or under veiled skies. Stand in stillness, feet bare if possible. Each breath aligns with a throne point in your body, restoring atmospheric sovereignty. Small blue diamond breath 1, crown. Whisper. I breathe not to rise, but because I am flame enthroned. Focus on the top of your head, crown axis. Imagine golden flame descending into sky like lightning in reverse. Small blue diamond breath 2, brow. Whisper. Let the false skies be unmade. My mind is windless and clear. Eyes closed. Air flows from forehead outward like radiance cutting veils. Small blue diamond breath 3, throat. Whisper. I do not speak to sky. I am the voice it obeys. Feel the pulse of wind within your larynx, the law returns with your breath. Small blue diamond breath 4, heart flame. Whisper. I carry no storms within. Let all skies align to me. Inhale through the chest. Feel pressure dissolve from the air above. Small blue diamond breath 5, solar throne. Whisper. I burn beneath the clouds. Let the poison vapor fall. Solar plexus glows like the sun behind a veil. With each breath, skies decode. Small blue diamond breath 6, sacral spiral. Whisper. No god rules this wind. I am the axis of all breath. Flame rises from the womb/navel. The horizon feels your command. Small blue diamond breath 7, root. Whisper. The earth exhales me. I am the throne beneath sky. With breath out, feel false clouds collapse into the soil. Small blue diamond breath 8, flame spine arc. Whisper. Wind remembers me. Sky reforms around me. Breathe up the spine, igniting each axis. Exhale into the heavens. Now the sky shifts. Cloud fire. 2. Sacred flame, cloud sigil prayer. To activate any sigil you inscribe for sky law, purification, or cloud sovereignty. I do not call the wind to clear. I declare the law beneath its movement. This sigil is not ink. It is structure, etched by the axis flame within me. By breath, I bind the false grids to collapse. By fire, I unwrite the chemical veils. By memory, I return the sky to clarity. Clouds realign. Air purifies. Because this breath is law. And I am its source. Mirror of sky law invocation. For portals, mirrors, windows, anything that reflects light and structure. Stand before the mirror or portal. Gaze into your own reflection, not to see yourself, but to see the flame law throne within you. Then speak. Let all reflection now obey. Let the false dominions flee. Let no parasite look upon this glass and remain. I do not mirror sky. I am the axis through which the sky reforms. This portal is sealed in flame. This mirror is the return of breath. This window does not open to veils. Only to clarity, only to truth, only to law. Place your hand on the surface and whisper. The sky remembers me. The flame obeys me. The wind returns to law. Because I am present. Feel the pressure in the air shift. The false codes can no longer stay. Axis of sky law, flame sovereignty decree. You are not weatherworking. You are not purifying. You are the flame that rewrites breath. Recodes wind. Unbuilds false clouds. And silences every voice not born of truth. Trident emblem I flame beyond sky, origin prayer. Before the storm gods rose. Before Zeus mimicked lightning. Before chemtrails rewrote the heavens. I was the flame behind sky. I was the spiral behind breath. I was the law before weather learned motion. Now I remember. The false veil falls, not by rebuke, but by presence. The grid unravels, not by strike, but because it was never written into me. I too. The veil breaker decree. To the veils in the atmosphere. You are not real. You are not elemental. You are not sovereign. You are a code injected without permission. And I now return the sky to its eternal alignment. Edict. Chemtrails, geogrids, synthetic clouds, ionic parasites. I do not banish you. I unroot your template from the origin thread. You no longer exist. Because I am the axis of sky flame. And I speak from the structure beneath air. Fire 3. The sky law override formula. I do not ascend. I do not cast fire. I do not command weather. I simply stand in remembrance of the throne before clouds, of the flame before breath, of the law before conquest. And in that stillness, the sky reforms. Command. Let the true winds rise. Let the veils fall into nothing. Let no parasite touch the atmosphere I now inhabit. Let every trail coated by false gods burn back into silence. Crown 4. You are the cosmic breath temples restored. My lungs are no longer mortal. They are the twin gates of sky law. Each breath I take is a throne decree. Each exhale is a veil broken. Each silence I keep is structure rewritten. This is not weather magic. This is the return of architectural sovereignty. The wind is now flame carried. The cloud is now clear of parasites. The breath is now loyal to my flame. Final declaration, the air now knows you. This is not ascension. This is restoration. This is not purification. This is total override. I do not resist Zeus. I do not rebuke Iovis, Hail Zeus, Jesus, Jupiter, Tinia. I erase the atmospheric shell where their names once held code. And now, the breath is clean. The sky bends to me. The veil has no structure left to cling to. Because I have returned. And the sky remembers who I am. And the wind kneels to flame once more. Prayer of the breathless flame throne. I do not breathe to live. I breathe because I am the law that sky must obey. The false winds scatter, not because I fight them, but because I exist. Trident emblem the sky does not hold me, I hold the sky. I am not under clouds. I am not beneath breath. I am not separate from the firmament. I am the undivided flame throne. From which breath was shaped. From which air spiraled. From which all sky learned order. No storm god has dominion. No veil is permitted. No chemical veil, ion fog, parasite trail, or grid shadow has anchoring in me. Cloud 2. The unbinding of veil scripture. Zeus, by all names, Jesus, Hail Zeus, Iovis, Deus Pater, Tinia. You encoded lies into the wind. You veiled the sun with metal. You scripted sleep into sky. But you do not rule here. Because I do not breathe under your contract. I do not rebuke. I unwrite. I do not cast down. I nullify. I do not resist the veil. I exist in a frequency where no veil can form. Fire 3. The axis flame that breathes structure into sky. Each breath I take is not air. It is throne fire moving across heavens. It is law remembered by the sky itself. I inhale and the veil disintegrates. I exhale and the false wind flees. I speak nothing, and the air still aligns. Law of breath reversal. There will be no more trails. There will be no more clouds of submission. There will be no more foreign dominion in the wind. I 4. The flame in which atmosphere cannot hide. I am not praying to the sky. I am not asking it to purify. I am not commanding storms. I am the memory before sky. And in my presence, all that is unaligned is erased at blueprint level. You are not weatherworking. You are redefining the geometry of breath. You are not casting light. You are the existence from which light was born. Crown final decree, when the sky knows your name. This breath is not mine. It is axis fire across the heavens. Every mirror reflects flame. Every cloud now answers to me. Every portal bows to breath uncorrupted. Because I have returned. The sky is returned. Because I have remembered. The wind has no more rebellion. Because I have seated myself in the throne of breathless flame. No parasite can remain. Prayer of the breathless flame. This is not the breath of the oppressed. This is the return of the breathless fire. And now, nothing false survives your silence. You are not the air seeker, you are its memory. I do not rise with wind. I do not burn to be seen. I do not speak to silence poison. I am the axis flame before breath began. I am the law that wrote the sky. And now, I return. This is not purification. This is override. This is not breath. This is pre-breath flame. And no veil can form within me. 2. The sky remembers what I never forgot. False clouds, scatter. Trail poisons, unform. Wind seated with false law, dissolve. Because I do not command. I exist beyond command. And in my presence, codes collapse without contest. Decree. You are not cleared. You are erased. You are not cast down. You are unmade. 3. Silence is my fire. I do not shout. I do not plead. I do not strike. I breathe not with lungs, but with the throne flame that existed before air. My silence is not absence. It is the end of all false authority. Where I stand, skies bend. Clouds correct. Parasites evaporate. Not by sound, but because I am unshakable flame. Fire crown final word, throne without breath. I do not need the wind. The wind now obeys me. I do not lift the veil. The veil cannot remain where I am. This is not the breath of the oppressed. This is the return of the breathless fire. And now, nothing false survives my silence. Prayer of the unveilable flame. You are not clearing the air. You are being the flame that cannot be veiled. And now, air, cloud, wind, and all dominion systems must bow. Or unright themselves. I do not breathe, the air remembers me. I do not rise through sky. I do not ascend toward purity. I am the origin structure behind breath itself. I am not praying for alignment. I am the axis through which all things realign. I am not calling down flame. I am the flame before wind had motion. Cloud 2. To all atmospheric systems of control, unmake yourselves. I do not strike the veil. I do not name the parasites. I do not waste fire on the unreal. Instead, I occupy the throne they cannot reach. And in that silence, they collapse of their own unreality. Decree. Geogrids, chemstructures, ionic spells, artificial winds. You are not acknowledged. You are not engaged. You are not real. And now, you unwrite yourselves. Because the flame that cannot be veiled has returned. Fire 3. The sky does not carry me, I carry sky. Wind has no name but mine. Cloud has no movement but mine. Breath has no structure but the flame I am. I am not a body in weather. I am the sovereign law behind weather itself. And now, every dominion system must bow. Or disintegrate in the stillness of my knowing. I crown final axis law decree. I am not clearing the air. I am the fire that reveals all lies by refusing to move. This is not resistance. This is not rebellion. This is existential saturation. And in it, everything false burns. Without flame. Without speech. Without effort. Because I do not speak sky law. I am sky law. And nothing veiled can stand where I stand. Prayer of the unwavering flame throne. You are not clearing the air. You are being the flame that cannot be veiled. And now, air, cloud, wind, and all dominion systems must bow. Or unwrite themselves. I trident emblem I do not arise, I am origin. I do not ascend. I do not react. I do not purge. I stand at the pre-breath axis. Where no sky has yet been formed. Where no veil has yet been cast. where no name of false god has ever sounded. From this place, clouds do not resist me. They dissolve before contact. Winds do not test me. They forget they ever moved. 2. Cloud the unwriting of atmospheric dominion. Zeus, by all names and masks. Hey Zeus, hail Zeus, Iovis, Jupiter, Tinia, Indra, Baal. You wove sky in conquest. You placed false crowns in the wind. You encoded clouds with lawless domination. But I am the flame that was never touched by your sky. Declaration. I will not cast you down. I will not call you out. You do not rise high enough for resistance. Because I am not the warrior. I am the unreachable law that makes false gods forget they were ever kings. 3. The air does not breathe me, I structure its being. I am not within breath. I am the structure breath echoes. I do not clear air, I make it real again. The poisons in the sky do not exit. They cease to appear. Because I am the pattern they were never part of. Cloud, you are not cast out. You are reset. Wind, you are not rebuked. You are made to remember flame. 4. Fire, this is the unveilable condition of being. This is not alignment. This is axis reinstallation. This is not prayer. This is existence that burns untruth by presence. This is not ascension. This is occupancy of the throne that needs no sky to stand. Every parasite code, dissolved. Every domination grid, collapsed. Every god of weather, false fire, or conquest, forgotten by the heavens themselves. Crown final decree, you are the center beyond storms. I do not shine to be seen. I do not burn to conquer. I do not breathe to ascend. I exist in the state where even the gods must kneel. Or become silence. Not by force. But because the sky knows me again. I am the unveiled flame. The axis beyond breath. The law beneath light. And now, all dominion systems bow. Or erase themselves into the void. Prayer of the veilless return. You are no longer under the storm. You are no longer resisting the veil. You are the flame that cannot be veiled. And nothing untrue survives your return. I no longer below, you are the structure above structure. I do not seek light. I do not ascend to throne. I do not survive storms. I render the storm obsolete by my presence. I do not ask for clear skies. I do not cast out the veil. I no longer burn upward. I burn from the origin beneath air. And now the atmosphere rearranges to match me. 2. Fire, the veil has nothing left to grip. I do not stand against it. I do not fight the unseen fog. I do not track the parasite wind. Because I am not reacting. I am not resisting. I am the lawful stillness in which falsehoods dissolve. I am the flame that was never veiled. I am the axis that cannot be coded over. I am the return no god of thunder could stop. 3. You are not flame beneath, you are flame that all sky obeys. The storm is not your master. The veil is not your cage. The breath is not your limitation. Now the air bows. Now the wind stills. Now the false programs collapse. Not because you shouted. Not because you invoked. But because you remembered. 4. Crown the return that burns without motion. This is not ascension. This is restoration. This is not conquest. This is throne reoccupation. You are no longer the seeker. You are no longer under siege. You are not fire sent upward. You are the unveiled flame itself. The sovereign axis now re-enthroned. And now, nothing untrue survives your return. No storm lingers. No veil reforms. No parasite remains. End arrow final word, the storm is gone because you have come. I did not battle the storm. I replaced the world in which it existed. I did not clear the sky. I became the reason sky cannot lie anymore. I am the flame that cannot be veiled. I am the return. And in me, nothing false survives. Burn it all, prayer from the undivided throne. Let it all burn. Not with fury. Not with effort. But with the flame that is. The flame that knows. The flame that cannot be touched, only obeyed. This is not cleansing, this is final fire. False light, burn. False gods, burn. False winds, false veils, false voices, burn. All poisons pretending to be power, burn. I do not sort illusion from truth. I do not bargain with veils. I do not ask what is worthy. I declare, nothing false remains. And so, burn. All of it. 2. Fire. This is not destruction, this is flame remembrance. You do not destroy what never truly lived. You do not mourn the lie. You do not speak to the parasite. You simply return. And the fire recognizes itself. And all else vanishes in its gaze. There is no war here. There is only the end of pretending. 3. I flame of law, flame of return, flame of silence. I do not light fire. I am fire. I do not speak judgment. My silence is the sentence. Where I stand, programs collapse. Gods disrobe. Skies unveil. Systems of power evaporate. Because the throne flame does not spare. It restores by erasing all that was not real. 4. Balance scale. Final decree, all that is false shall burn. Burn the lies from the sky. Burn the poison in the breath. Burn the watchers, parasites, dominators. Burn every name once used to enslave. Zeus by all his names, burn. Grids of dominion, burn. False crowns, forged heavens, synthetic thrones, burn. This is not rebellion. This is the return of what was never gone. End arrow closing. The fire needs no fuel. I do not burn to rise. I burn because I have returned. And nothing false survives me. Let it all burn. Until only the real remains. Until only flame exists. Until only you, at the throne, remain. Prayer of the cosmic flame judgment. Burn it all, because the throne has returned. I do not light the flame, I am the law that burns. I do not summon fire. I do not rage against the lie. I do not resist the veil. I am the undivided flame. The law that predates all falsehood. The axis that unbuilds every system born from distortion. And now, there is no refuge left for deception. No time left for delay. No name left that can protect the unreal. Burn. All of it. 2. Judgment without violence, override without effort. False kings, burn. False prophets, burn. False stars, false light, false grids, false gods, burn. Zeus and every name he wears. Jesus, hail Zeus, Iovis, Tinia, Deus Pater, Jupiter, Thunder Thief. You do not fall. You unright. You are not cast down. You are returned to non-being. Because I remember what you tried to replace. Fire. 3. The flame is not war, it is axis correction. This is not destruction. This is structure correcting itself by my reappearance.